Fitzgibbons and DeFay into round 2. Now kicking off round 1, heat number 2, Tatiana Weston-Webb headlines this one as the high seed on the Jeep leaderboard, representing the island of Kauai. Sage Erickson representing California and the USA, and Alessa Quizon from the island of Oahu bouncing over here to showcase the backhand attack for the two Hawaiians. Those are all surfers that are qualified on the QS to get a big result here in Maui, so that those spots can go a little further back on the QS rankings. So it's a bit out of Alessa's hands once again as we watch Tatiana get the first wave of the heat. A big low to kick off the 35-minute matchup, and now Tati will take the lead.
And then you could tell that, she wasn't completely convinced once she was up and riding on that, because kind of shut down on her. So, just a good way to get things going. Obviously very, very slow out here this morning. There was a lot of waves at the beginning. Sort of that last heat, there was quite a few good sets come through, so we're expecting this one to be a little slower. So every little score that you put on the board can help with not just point situation, but momentum as well. A little less pressure. Obviously, Keely's shoulders, she drops a big bomb. So if Sage can take a page out of that book, well, we'll see good stuff from her as well.
Tatiana Weston-Webb finds a small inside corner to work with. Vertical on the backhand into carves, really making the most of a really small inside corner. Had the 5-5 early. Knew she's in the back of the line for priority. Starts backing up her total out in front. Now Sage will kick things off. Erickson, front side slice on the open face. Couple of forehand hooks and she's out and now on the board. Now priority goes to Alessa Quizon. Wins that Chelsea Georgeson had on her backhand out here. You see the backhand style of Tatiana Weston-Webb. How smart was this move?
I think it's really smart. 5.5 on her opening wave. Just, and it was again one of those little bowly inside ones that kind of snuck underneath both Sage and Alessa. Deciding to go on that, unleashed some big turns, showed some commitment, had nice smooth transitions between the maneuvers, and the score is going to reflect. It's going to be dangerous, that's for sure. Someone with the ability of Tyler Wright with no pressure.
Alessa Quizon now getting her first wave of the matchup. She's got a speedy little backhand, fitting in a lot of maneuvers in a small space. And she'll break free of the combination with 18:20 to go.
Probably on his way to a triple crown.
Unbelievable.
And let's have a look at Alessa's wave here. You said a little shorter, but she did fit a lot of stuff in. Love that last turn there. She's got such an amazing ability to get that board to pivot in such a tight space, Joe. Just turn that board on a dime, and that's exactly what she did on that last exchange, that last turn.
Got her 6.33 on the inside corner under priority, and Quizon just locked in a 3.07. Alessa now needs an 8.76 on this wave already underway. Beautiful transition until she goes down on the final turn. You can tell she doesn't need a whole lot of room to recover in between maneuvers. Tati out in front, 5.5 and a 6.33 as we take off with Alessa Quizon. Not a whole lot to work with, but she's going to try to fight for some open face. Already into her fourth maneuver on a one-footer, and she's out. Man Waz, Strider, Raspberry Wazalewski. Made a career out of surfing big waves like in Pipeline, but lived in Maui before that when he's just 18. Still acts like he's 18, by the way. As we see Sage Erickson. Snap, carve on the inside corner. Flowing through that little whip. Not a whole lot to work with. She's got to get out. Her first wave at 3.5, trying to break down an 8.33 to take the lead off Tati. Priority is with Tatiana Weston-Webb. She has a 5.5 and a 6.33. She's trying to control her lead out front, and she'll use her priority on this wave. First snap, nice and controlled. Throws it under the lip and vertically, but she goes down. So maybe more of a defensive move, just keeping her opponents off this wave. Alessa will choose the next one. Nice clean snap for the surfer from the west side of Oahu. Drills it off the lip. Little redirect on the inside. Alessa creates some space on the inside and she's out. Still trying to break out of the 2s and 3s. Quizon needing an 8.76 to take the lead. which our commissioner still has on standby to potentially go later on today. Sage up. Fades the cut back and now starting to move down the line. Erickson has an end section approaching her and she'll blow the tail out. Stands up out the back. She won't get credit for the finish. Erickson's second score, her best, the 6.33. Had her in striking distance. She really needed that finishing move if she wanted to lead there.
Yeah, it was one of those strange waves too that kind of bent out to sea. So it was sort of running away from her all that time. That's why you saw that end section literally close out on her. So you see that wave bending out. You want the ones that bend in. Unfortunately, there's not enough time to wait for them. So Sage having to roll the dice on this one. You can see that end section closing down on her. Beautiful commitment right there on that last maneuver, but just unfortunately she didn't ride out. So that will be deemed as an incomplete maneuver. Let's have a look at Alessa. Is this going to be her best wave yet, Joe? A lot of activity on this wave, a lot of movement, just keeping that board moving, rail to rail, setting those fins, couple of nice turns right there. She builds her points up through the inside section. Needs a finishing turn on this one. And obviously that wave as well, not having that inside bowl, very, very key to get those big points.
To be back on tour next year.
I think it's crazy difficult. I mean, you're looking at top 10 on the CT, top 6 on the QS. I mean, who thinks up this kind of deal?
Tati now with under a minute to go. We'll just take a final wave. Fun looking backside rooftop float into a snap combination. Starting to smile towards the inside corner. She enjoyed that ride. 40 seconds remaining. Erickson with priority, but she's going to run out of time. Tatiana Weston-Webb takes the win in round 1, heat number 2, to move on straight to round 3 as the current number 4 in the world celebrates a nice early morning win with a 5.5 and the 6.33 that she got under priority. A solid served heat for Tati as this one continues.